The Whispering Shadows. In the small town of Eldridge, a dense fog rolled in every evening, thick and impenetrable. The townspeople spoke of it in hushed tones, for those who ventured into the fog rarely returned the same. Emma, a curious and headstrong girl of 16, had always been drawn to the mysteries of Eldridge. One evening, as the fog began to creep in, she decided to explore the old woods on the outskirts of town, where the fog was said to be the thickest. As she stepped into the woods, the cold air wrapped around her like a shroud. The trees loomed tall and twisted, their branches clawing at the sky. Emma's heart raced with excitement, but a whisper of unease lingered at the back of her mind. Just a little further, she whispered to herself, pushing deeper into the shadows. Minutes turned into hours as the fog thickened, swallowing her surroundings. The world around her became a muted gray, and sounds were muffled. But then, she heard it, a faint whisper, like a breeze rustling through leaves. "Emma, come play with us." Startled, she turned, scanning the fog for the source. No one was there, but the whisper echoed again, closer this time. A shiver ran down her spine. "Who's there?" she called, her voice trembling. The only reply was a soft giggle, melodic yet chilling. Emma's instincts screamed at her to leave, but her curiosity held her captive. "Follow us." The voice beckoned, and without thinking, she took a step forward. The ground beneath her feet felt soft, almost sponge-like. As she moved deeper into the woods, shapes began to emerge from the fog, shadowy figures, their features indistinct but their eyes glowing with a strange light. They danced around her, their laughter ringing like wind chimes in the air. "Join us, Emma," they sang, their voices intertwining, pulling her closer. But as she reached out to touch one of them, the figure recoiled, its smile turning into a grimace. The others began to chant, their voices "Once you enter, you can't leave. Forever in shadows, you'll grieve." Panic surged through Emma. She turned and ran, the laughter of the figures echoing behind her. The fog twisted and turned, disorienting her as she stumbled through the trees. Her heart pounded in her chest as she gasped for breath. Just when she thought she might escape, she found herself at the edge of a cliff, the ground crumbling beneath her feet. The whispers returned, softer now, almost coaxing. "Stay with us, Emma. We won't let you go." Desperate, she took a step back, trying to shake off the spell they had cast. With a final burst of strength, she turned and sprinted back into the woods, the shadows chasing her, their laughter fading into the distance. Finally, she burst through the tree line and into the safety of the town. The fog lifted slightly, revealing the familiar streets of Eldridge. But when she looked back, the woods stood silent, the shadows hidden within. Days passed, but the encounter haunted her. Emma had returned to the woods, but the shadows were gone, replaced by an oppressive silence. The townspeople noticed her change. She grew pale, her eyes wide with fear. One night, as the fog rolled in again, she heard the whispers calling her from her window. "Emma, come play." Unable to resist, she opened the door and stepped back into the fog, leaving behind the warmth of her home. The shadows welcomed her, their laughter ringing out as the fog swallowed her whole once more. And in Eldridge, the fog returned every night, but now it whispered a new name, one more lost to the shadows, forever wandering in the dark.